Hey everyone.
Finally getting to upload this process drawing. Like, I've had it finished a while ago and I was just kind of afraid to post it online because I did use some leaked images, what potentially back then was leaked images of what Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin costume could look like. So I was like, okay, maybe I should wait after the movie's out and it might be able to, it's like hopefully nothing happens. But anyway, yeah, I love his new look. I loved the fact that they just basically took the Raimi costume and then upgraded it, like tore it up and everything. I was like, okay, that's just awesome. Plus they gave him the purple hood. The images and stuff, you're like, that looks sort of like a merger of the Alex Ross drawing. Like, the Alex Ross concept of a movie. I think it was for the movie. As well as the Raimi's whole design. It was just amazing to see. Green Goblin finally has the purple hood and everything. And plus, we're getting to see, they're not hiding Willem Dafoe's face. Because he has a creepy face when he expresses it. Like, the guy can really, it was kind of weird when you think about it. You're like, okay, he already has such a creepy face and you're kind of hiding it behind a mask. Especially after you see the first concept that they had, they would wanted to do this animatronic mask that would emote and everything, but oh well, it can't change the past or anything, right? But anyway, it's like, he looks amazing. He was amazing in the movie. I, like, the minute he came into the movie just sort of elevated itself and it became something else entirely. I felt like, like the first half of the movie was kind of shaky, I guess. It wasn't, but that's what a lot of people are saying, oh, the first half of the movie was shaky. Like, for me, I thought from start to finish it was awesome. It didn't feel like it was shaky. Like, yes, did the first half of the movie feel like it was sort of rushing through things because they had to sort of sort out what they set up with Far From Home, and then it just went into a different direction and they told this movie's story. Like, honestly, it's like, this movie shouldn't, like, No Way Home should not have worked. All the leaks, and even when you're watching the trailer, you're like, how is this movie going to work? It seems like it's trying to do way too much than is necessary. Plus, the usual, too many villains could potentially ruin a movie. The Amazing Spider-Man, it's like, will it work well enough? But honestly, it works so well together. And the fact that I felt none of the villains were unnecessary, in the sense where each of the villains got their time to shine. Plus, it's like Jamie Foxx sort of got a redemption as Electro. Like, first of all, his new look was amazing. Like, I've honestly, you've probably heard me praise the new look in my previous drawing, so I don't want to go into it too much, but I really liked what they did with him in the movie. And then, bringing back Alfred Molina, you're like, the way he said, oh, I'm just doing this for the money. But then you see the movie and you're like, yeah, you're doing it for the money, but you're also actually, doing a really good performance, shoehorning it in. And obviously, like, Willem Dafoe was just amazing. The fact that he was the perfect Green Goblin for Sam Raimi's movies, as well as the perfect Goblin in this movie. And I'm also kind of like, although I was against the idea of them doing a multiverse movie for No Way Home, because, like, Far From Home set up a completely different movie than the one we got when you watch at the end of the, like, I wasn't the biggest fan of Far From Home, but even I have to admit, they set up a completely different movie. I'm sure we all thought, oh, clearly they're setting up a Craven movie. And then, I think Tom Holland even came out recently and said, yeah, like, John Watts was actually pitching a Craven the Hunter movie. And we're like, yeah, made sense. Like, that's clearly what they were setting up. But then we got this, and it worked. It felt like such a perfect Spider-Man movie, which was very weird. It's like, it shouldn't have worked at all, but it did. I loved everything about it. I loved all the villains. None of the villains, like I said, felt like they didn't have their time to shine. They didn't feel like they were just background fodder. Like, obviously, Sandman and Lizard, you're like, okay, you two clearly are the background fodder just to be there for the battle and just to fill out the roles. But, and Alfred Molina, Willem Dafoe and Jamie Foxx are the main villains who are going to get the most time to shine. But it all worked at the end. There was a hierarchy of villains, but it's like, it never felt like anyone was useless in the story. And Tom Holland, I felt like Tom Holland finally got his due as Spider-Man. Like, he finally got to be the Spider-Man that was promised at the end of Homecoming. Obviously he was Spider-Man, but he felt like he was living under someone else's shadow, and this time around that wasn't the case. And I was like, oh, you guys finally did it. Yeah, I'm glad I was proved wrong. And I have to say, I'm actually looking forward to the Fantastic Four movie now. Because I remember during Disney's Investor Day, when the Fantastic Four movie was announced, and they said, oh yeah, John Watts is returning as the director, like, he's going to be the director. Like, honestly, at first I was so excited that they're announcing a Fantastic Four movie is in production, but then I was so disappointed with the fact that John Watts, of all directors, was getting his chance I was like, why him? Could you not find anyone else? But you know, after seeing No Way Home, I'm like, you know what, dude? You literally proved why you're right to be. Like, you clearly pitched something. Feige clearly liked working with you. And No Way Home as well probably sold them on it. So I'm like, yep, you sold me. No Way Home sold me on him directing Fantastic Four, and I can't wait to see what he does with it. I can't wait to see who he casts. You know, this time around he's not taking someone else's character on board. Like the Russo cast Tom Holland, and then he had to work with him. He's getting his chance to cast whoever he wants, hopefully. Also, I'm kind of hoping he kind of brings in Tom Holland into the Fantastic Four movie. You know, it's like, it'd be kind of cool, you know, to see Spider-Man interact with the Fantastic Four, because, you know, in the comics, he's basically the unofficial fifth member. Even when they're sort of replacing Johnny Storm in 2010, because he quote unquote died, basically was trapped in a negative zone. Like, you know, they picked Peter Parker, and it worked there. He has great chemistry with the team, and I'm clearly sure that we could see some great chemistry with Tom Holland and whoever is cast as the Fantastic Four members. Plus, you know, his friendship with Johnny, so who doesn't want to see that in live action? So yeah, so like I said, I love the movie. There's so much to talk about with this movie, but it's like maybe I'll draw another video. This is just like, it's not that I'm trying to avoid spoilers or anything, but like, cause like this is the most leaked and spoiled movie, I would say, of the 21st century. Literally 2021 was just every single month there was another new leak or a new spoiler for No Way Home. Like, you couldn't go a week or two, I'd say, where you see something on social media and you're like, okay, cool, I guess. Well, it's like it all worked out. It really worked out. The minute the movie finished, I was like, I want to go back and see it. Right now, I'm actually clearly thinking I should expand the drawing I have with the background and everything. Maybe I could draw the Statue of Liberty and the scaffolding in the background. I think it would clearly work out, especially after seeing the movie, where I'm like, oh, I've got a new motivation to draw more Spider-Man. But anyway, I'm talking for way too long. I should really shut up right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I didn't talk about the drawing as much. I should have. Hopefully I will next time. I just want to say how much I love the movie. Yeah, if you like what you've seen, if you like my process, if you weren't annoyed with what I was saying or my voice ending, like, click the like button, subscribe, share, comment below. Have you seen the movie? Have you not seen the movie? Did you like the movie? What do you think of the movie? And thank you so much for watching. It's just awesome seeing everyone united with a Spider-Man movie. You know, so for the past couple of years, you were kind of divided. Everyone, like, you know, the fan base was divided. But right now, everyone's united behind No Way Home. Everyone's loving it. Everyone's enjoying it. Everyone wants more of it. So yeah, I really like this movie. It felt like a comic book come to life to me. I know a lot of people say it for Infinity War or Endgame or previous Marvel movies, it feels like a comic book, but this one I was like, no, this one clearly feels like it's a comic book come to life or on the big screen. Plus, I think the other thing about No Way Home was that it felt like Feige, John Watts and the writing team, everyone involved, you know, the people at Marvel and Sony heard the criticisms of Far From Home and improved upon it. Even though he made $1 billion in the box office, they were like, clearly a lot of people weren't satisfied with the way the MCU was treating Spider-Man, or just Far From Home told Spider-Man's story, and they sort of corrected that without making it feel forced. So they made a natural flow of the story. And obviously, of course, this was always the aim, but it just felt like, you know, Far From Home was too busy trying to build a universe or praise the MCU universe, in a sense, being a bookend for Phase 4 instead of trying to tell a Spider-Man story. Like, the Spider-Man story was a second part of the movie. Like, you know, it was a second cog in the machine rather than like the first thing. With No Way Home, it's still a Spider-Man story. It's a Spider-Man story in the MCU, but we're gonna make sure, you know, this is a Spider-Man story. This is Tom Holland's Spider-Man story, and he's the focus. You're gonna see his character go through things. He's gonna have a lot to do. The emotional stakes and everything, they were all there. And, you know, it's like everything at the end, it was just such a good Spider-Man movie, and like, I really just want to go see it again. But yeah, sorry for going on. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.